We're going to get now to those explosive new allegations of a cover-up over Daniel Prude's fatal police encounter in Rochester, New York. Newly released emails show police leaders tried to keep body cam video of Prude's death a secret because they feared the public's response. TJ Holmes has the latest. Good morning, TJ.
George, good morning. There's a section of the police report where a police officer is supposed to fill in the victim type. Daniel Prude was initially identified simply as an individual, but someone came back and wrote on that police report, "Make him a suspect." That is just one of hundreds of documents we are now seeing that appear to show a coordinated, deliberate effort to change the narrative and also keep the public from seeing another video that would shock the country.
Are you Daniel?
Yes, sir.
This video of Daniel Prude's deadly encounter with police sparked outrage and protests in Rochester, New York. But police leaders, city and state officials appeared to work behind the scenes for months to keep the public from seeing it. That's according to newly released documents. Prude's brother Joe, speaking out exclusively to ABC since those documents were released, claims that from the start, the information being given to the family just wasn't adding up.
When it all came out, everything that I felt was the truth.
Prude died in March, but after George Floyd's death in May, Rochester officials became concerned about, quote, potentially violent blowback in the community to the video. A deputy Rochester police chief writing in an email, "We certainly do not want people to misinterpret the officer's actions and conflate this incident with any recent killings of unarmed black men by law enforcement nationally." The documents also showing that officials appear to discuss different tactics for delaying the video's release to the public, including inviting a lawyer for the Prude family to watch the video in a private meeting, provided he agrees to sign an agreement that he cannot scan, copy, or otherwise attempt to reproduce the information.
The documents that have now been released reveal an intentional and a detailed cover-up.
Rochester Police Union President Michael Mazzio thinks the documents are all about assigning blame.
I think that what we're seeing here is politics first, agendas first, and not what we should be focusing on, which is most important in this case, is to complete this investigation.
It also shows police were concerned about framing the narrative about the incident for the public. A suggested change to a police report was to call Prude a suspect. Prude died in the hospital a week after this March 23rd incident, captured on police body cam. Prude's family had initially called police to report he was having a mental emergency.
The next step for me and with them is to let my lawyers and them do what they do best, bring forth justice for the family.
Now, the 7 officers involved in the encounter with Prude have been suspended. The police chief was fired. The interim police chief, though, George, Mark Simmons, he was one of the people that the documents show was advocating for not releasing the video.
Okay, TJ, thanks very much for being our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, for more on this. Dan, and Dan, you hear cover up, you think trouble. Could there be any justifiable reason for keeping this body cam video secret?
Well, look, from the police perspective, they're going to say that they didn't want it misinterpreted. They're going to say that it wasn't that they didn't want it out ever, but they didn't want it out now. It is never helpful when you are in the position of trying to defend why you were trying to prevent it from being released. The more important issue, though, is going to be what's on the video. What are they doing on the video? That's going to be critical. I would say of all the interactions that TJ was just referring to, the most damaging one potentially is the red writing in there that says, make him a suspect. I think that's a bigger potential problem for the police than exchanges between them saying they don't want something to be misinterpreted, because in the context of that, they're denying any wrong.
Yeah, how can you explain make him a suspect?
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll have to see. I don't know what they're going to say about exactly why they said that that should be the case. Maybe they're going to say that it was a mistake from the beginning, that they viewed him as a suspect. There was a question about someone throwing a brick through a window. They were called onto the scene. Who knows? But that's going to be a critical question that has to be answered.
Meantime, there's an ongoing investigation from the New York Attorney General.
Yeah, and it is the Attorney General who investigates this sort of crime. Since 2015 in New York State, it is the Attorney General, not the local district attorneys, who investigate something like a police shooting. But these investigations tend to take time. If you look back at the investigations that the New York Attorney General has done, they often take over a year to complete. And the Attorney General has already been investigating this, so the timeline has started. But we may not see a quick resolution here on the question of whether any criminal charges will be filed.
Dan Abrams, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.